we also spoke with the second student who was arrested at the school this afternoon.
She says she was taken into custody after just standing up for the girl in the classroom, and she was asking what was happening. She also refused to give anybody the video she shot of the incident, except for News 19's Lauren Thomas.
What was your reaction when you saw?
I was crying, like literally screaming, crying like a baby.
18-year-old Nia Kinney was in her math class at Spring Valley High when she saw school resource officer Ben Fields forcibly remove her classmate.
I was in disbelief. I know this girl don't got nobody, and I couldn't believe this was happening. I'd never seen nothing like that in my life. Like a man used that much force on a little girl, a big man, like 300 pounds, a full muscle. I was like, no way, no way. Like, you can't do that to no little girl. I'm talking about she like 5'6".
Kinney says her classmate was not participating and was asked to leave the room by her teacher. When she refused, an administrator was called asking her to leave. Officer Fields also asked her to leave the classroom. Kinney filmed part of the altercation on her phone of Officer Fields arresting her classmate.
And I was screaming, what the F? What the F? Is this really happening? I was praying out loud for the girl, and I couldn't believe it was happening. I was just crying, and he was like, well, since you got so much to say, you coming too. And I was like, what? And he, would you want some of this? And just put my hands behind my back.
Her mother, Doris Kinney, was shocked and upset when she saw the video.
My child, and I'm not mad at her, she was brave enough to speak out against what was going on and didn't back down, and it resulted in her being arrested.
Kinney was charged with disturbing schools.
But looking at the video, who was really disturbing the school? Was it my daughter, or was it the officer that came into the classroom and did that to the young girl?
In Columbia, Lauren Thomas, News 19, WLTX.
Sheriff Lott says further down the road, after this whole investigation wraps up, he's going to look at the procedures of student resource officers. And he says maybe those students should have been asked to leave the classroom before the arrest actually took place. And that could be one of those procedures that they add for student resource officers in the future. But right now, they're focused on this internal investigation. And along with the internal investigation, he's asked the FBI to conduct an independent investigation, and that's also taking place. However, that internal investigation, we could hear a conclusion and a wrap-up from that in the next 24 hours.
Well, guys, like Jim said, that flood warning is in effect. This rain really started picking up about 45 minutes ago. Really started getting heavy because before that it was just steadily falling down all around Orangeburg County. Even though it's raining, there are volunteers that are still out helping to clean up these homes and make sure that they're dried out so they can start that restoration process. We'll actually show you a little bit inside of this house. It did get wet after some of that heavy rain kind of blew in here, but the water line you can see on the walls, it was several feet. That's how high that water came from the creek and from this flooded area, because this part of Forest Acres is in a flood hazard zone.
Columbia Canal, a very busy place right now. Lauren Thomas is there. And Lauren, I know they're working on a dam so that the process of getting that drinking water safe to drink once again can take place, correct?
Yes, guys, I'm going to move out of the way so you can see. The helicopter here is bringing over sandbags, a sandbag. They've been doing this all afternoon, going back and forth, just bringing one-ton sandbags to help with the damming process that they're going into right now. And this was all because of that failed levee. And you can see, if Chris, you can pan over a little bit more, zoom in, that major hole right there that was not there earlier this week. But because of yesterday's accumulation of water in the canal and the flooding, that area broke, and you can see this large hole, and this is a major hole for the canal. This is the main source of water here in Columbia, and so today it's all about damming up the canal and to give them an opportunity to start making repairs. Now, earlier today, we heard about their plan when it comes to sinking barges underneath the water so that they can start building a rock dam on top of it and then adding those sandbags to that. So that is what the plan is today. They'll be here all night working on this. This is just the first phase, and it's only just a temporary repair until they get enough of that dammed up so they can start making a permanent repair for the canal. But as I said, this is the main source of water for the city of Columbia, and that's a reason why many people were without water this week, because all this water, and there it goes, they just dropped the sandbag right there. And they have 100 of those already for tonight. Tomorrow, they're supposed to be bringing more with the National Guard. Well, guys, we have to wear these masks right now if you want to step inside of a home that is being gutted out. And that's exactly what we're doing now. And you can see where the water line came all the way up several feet inside of this home. And this is just one of the many homes that has been affected by the flooding here in Columbia. I'm actually here with one of the demolition crews, and you're with Operation Blessing, correct?
Yes, I am.
So tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing out here today.
We are finishing the demo here. We started the day after the floods. We came in, and the homeowners had all the furniture taken out already. So we came in with a crew of 9 people, and we just started to measure about 1 foot to 2 feet above the water line and started knocking out plaster, taking out the baseboards, taking everything out as quick as possible to start airing out the home because of the mold issue.
Because mold is a big issue.
It's already growing. It's already starting, yes. And the water that's underneath the houses is causing the mold to grow that much quicker, and it's everywhere. We ripped off a wall yesterday in the back room that looked like a normal wall. We took the wall off, and water poured out from behind the wall. So it's everywhere. Like I said, it's in the kitchen cabinets, in the stove, it's everywhere still.
And it's just a sense of urgency right now.
Absolutely. The urgency is to dry out the property as quick as possible.
Lauren, have we found out at what time that conference is going to be held?
Still not a lot of information. We don't know what time that press conference will start, but we do know that the NTSB is investigating, and that's the reason why we cannot get to the scene of that crash. We're told that the small private plane went down near a private pond off of Old Barnwell Road in Lexington, and we have not, once again, been able to reach that area. The plane was heading to Asheville, North Carolina around 9:20 this morning when it lost contact with the Columbia Metropolitan Airport, and we're told after that, that's when the plane went down. Right now, still not a lot of information about what happened, what caused the plane crash. Right now, it's still under investigation by the NTSB. Once again, we're also expecting that press conference pretty soon. Well, guys, this image of the Confederate flag behind me will not be the norm at the State House anymore, as House representatives voted to remove the flag. All they need now, as you said, is Governor Haley's signature. Now, this morning, it all started out with 28 amendments. Those amendments were all withdrawn, however, and at the end of the day, more than 60 were brought up in front of the House. Now, all those amendments were tabled, meaning that they were not introduced into that final bill, and this is a clean bill that's now going to Governor Haley's office, something that the Senate also hoped for. But one amendment that changed the night was introduced by Representative Rick Quinn from Lexington County. He asked that the Confederate flag be preserved and presented in the Confederate Relic Room at the State Museum, along with other historic Confederate battle flags. Now, Representative Quinn also asked for a special budget that would allow for a better presentation of the flag. Now, that amendment that he introduced, that was also tabled. However, in a word-for-word resolution that was introduced, that a new resolution was introduced separate from the bill, word for word, of his amendment that would allow for that Confederate flag to be presented in the Confederate Relic Room. Now, the resolution passed, and it's paving the way for the final passing of the bill.
We took a group of, I think, about 30 legislators, white, black, Republican, Democrat, to the Relic Room, and it was. I think that was part of what got us here today with the out resolution, because I think they finally understood that, that first of all, it's pretty cool because, there's some very, we have one of the more valuable relic collections in the country, but also that it's that there are ways. I was trying to show them that there are people that aren't racist, that just want to remember their family members. They want to keep track of their history, and so it was a good moment. I think it was part of what got us here today.
And ultimately, that resolution was the resolution that helped allow people to kind of come together and pass this bill to bring the Confederate flag down.
Like I said, entrepreneurship is a faith walk. You've got to step out because you don't know what's going to happen.
1 year ago, Crystal Barclay quit her massage therapy job at a local spa.
Today, she's her own boss.
The older I got, I realized I can't work for someone. That doesn't work for me.
Barclay teamed up with Ashley Edwards to open Iconic Sport Performance, which is a basketball and personal training facility. As a former collegiate basketball player, Edwards drills her clients on the true fundamentals of the game, but making that crossover to business wasn't easy.
Being a black woman owning a sport business is crazy because, like I said, I'm the lead basketball trainer, and basketball, women's basketball, everywhere is ran by men, especially in Columbia.
Iconic Sport Performance is one of 1.3 million black female-owned businesses popping up around the nation. According to a recent report on the state of women-owned businesses from 1997 to 2015, black female-owned businesses have grown by 322%. Here in the Midlands, Thomas Media Group CEO Darren Thomas says he's seeing more businesses in the health field.
Where we have seen a growth has been in the non-traditional business sector, or businesses that you traditionally have not seen African Americans or African American women in particular.
That's especially true for Barclay and Edwards.
Since our business is open, I mean, it's just been a beautiful process.
We're not talking about a glass ceiling anymore. You know what I mean? It doesn't exist because we've created our own everything.
At the ages of 24 and 28, Barclay and Edwards are living their dream. Their only hope is to inspire their clients to step out on faith and shoot for their own dreams too. In Columbia, Lauren Thomas, News 19, WLTX. You know, if you didn't go up to the Queen City, you could be here, though, just enjoying the game here at Buffalo Wild Wings, and that's what a few people are doing now. We're an hour away from the game, but already fans, students, alumni, they're all out here ready to cheer on the Gamecocks. And I'm actually here with Buddy. Buddy has a different story for us tonight, because you see he's not wearing his garnet and black. He has a superstitious outfit. Talk to me about it.
Superstition. See, now, last year I had the superstition where I wear black and white socks, alternating black and white socks. And I've been doing it since the Alabama game because I couldn't find matching socks at home, and y'all know what happened after the Alabama game. Well, last year I thought we had the team. You know, I wanted to wear shorts, didn't want to look tacky outside with black and white, so I didn't do the superstition. And y'all know what happened. This year, we're right back to it. We got our black and white socks on, had this shirt since 9th grade. I'm putting it back on. We're going back to the basics, and we're going to have a good season.
All right, you guys are already pumped up, I can tell. You got the stickers on the faces, too. Yeah, so are you guys, who's going to win tonight?
We are, of course. Gamecocks, duh. We're number one.
So you guys are confident, just ready to just enjoy this game tonight, huh?
You always have to be confident in your team. Exactly.
And you guys go to USC?
We do, yes.
So tell me a little bit about what it means to be a Gamecock.
It's just like getting chills like on game days. Like on game days, I just get so many chills, and it's just amazing. Like you just get this weird feeling of how perfect it is. Bleeding Garnet.
All right, you heard him. There you go. So if you aren't going to Charlotte tonight, or if you aren't already there, you still got some time to come on down to Buffalo Wild Wings. The game starts at 6. Come on out, have a beer. Have a beer with Buddy tonight. Back to you guys in the studio.